Fiftee.
What's up, world? It's your boy Antonio, aka Mad Mook, here at Humanities. There should be a sign right there, but it's not. It's on the outside and it's raining. Welcome to Humanities, where ideas come to reality. I'm going to give you a tour of my lovely creative space and shop. First stop is the DTG room.
Wait, it's funny that you said creative space because that's what my boy Cedric. Hey. So it's just like when you said creative space, it reminded me of Cedric at Squeeze Play because they have like spray paint up in there, and it was like a space, like outer space or whatever. So it was like their creative space.
That's hard.
It was just, I don't know, like when you said creative space, I was like, that's funny that you said the exact same like wordage.
My creative space, aka my big coloring book. Here you have the DTG room, and it has to be temperature controlled. As you see, we have a nice air conditioner, we have a nice humidifier, and we have the heaters. You got your brother GTX here. This thing can do wonders.
And how does it work? What does it do?
Direct to garment, actually. So it's pretty much, imagine a big printer printing on your shirt, but with amazing ink that will not ever come out.
And this has been a purchase that
this is a recent purchase. This is our most recent purchase right here as of September of last year. And it is doing amazing. I want to buy a second one.
There you go.
Shout out to brother. Sponsor me.
ASAP.
All right, so, this is what we do all the pre-treating for the DTG. You got your pre-treat machine. You got your pre-treats, different ones. You got your big boy pre-treat because we use a lot of that. You got your Stalls heat press, 16 by 20 platen because you got to get that because we do offer oversized, 16 by 20 oversized. Moving over to the cleanup area, you got your washout booth and a bunch of screens that need to be cleaned. So, yeah, these need to be cleaned. That's about 80 screens. Washout booth, all of your essentials, all of your screen washes and press washes and ink degraders, all the good stuff.
New one on the way too. Shout out Tech Source.
Shout out Tech Source. This is your messy station where all your inks are. I got it color coordinated. Ink squeegee station. Got your squeegees over here. All aligned. Yep. Long, short, shorter. Then you got this one.
Interesting one.
Yeah, it's for it's like ergonomic for when you're a puller. I'm a pusher, but this is when you're pulling. It's good. This is the poop versus pee bathroom, aka the dark room.
This one's already been featured a lot on TikTok.
Featured, but here's our exposure unit.
Okay, explain this real quick.
It exposes the units. No, just kidding. This is how you burn your screen. So your transparency film will go into a screen, and this thing here will light up and burn through the screen and give you a good film positive output. Also, you're always going to have a safe light. You don't want bright lights. Like out here.
All right, so to ruin the...
Yes. This is my first ever dryer. I will be donating this to the kids of Chattanooga here soon. And this is my first ever press, which I also will be donating to the Dynamo students.
I didn't know that, actually. You're getting a new manual? Or you just...
I'm just going to make space for me to manifest a automatic in this space. Yes.
Auto.
So I'm going to donate this to the kids and start teaching them twice a week. So this will be out of here soon. Then I upgraded to this lovely device here, the little red X2, infrared heat versus coiled heat. Big difference.
What is it? Just like the consistency of the temperature? Or
yeah, it pretty much heats everything, and it's infrared heat versus like coiled heat. So the heat disperses way better with this, and there's way more controls. You got your Vastex V1000, 6 and 6, 6 color, 6 stations. You got your 50-50-50 tour shirts that will be finished printing tomorrow. All right, moving along, we got the office where all of the digitizing and vectoring and artwork and consultations and phone calls and DMs and everything that makes my head hurt happens in here. And it's supposed to be my cool space, but
the custom Humanities zachriddleart piece. Sheesh.
Supposed to be chill in here, so when I'm having a long day, I can come in here and chill. As you see, it's pretty chill in here now.
It's chill.
So we're gonna bring it down a notch because I want it to be chill in here. Do not ever yell in this room ever. Don't ever yell in this room. Moving over to our vinyl department. These guys are very messy, as you see. They should clean up. Ed, Andre, come clean. You got your hat press. You got your circuit cutter. You got another 15, 16 by 20 heat press. Got your vinyl cutter, plotter, whatever they call it. I'm not good with the vinyl. Vinyl's not my thing. I'm the screen print, embroidery, and DTG guy. Holler at Ed.
I'm a vinyl guy.
You're a vinyl guy. We should hire you. This is where the fun happens. The podcast station. We don't use it much. Welcome to my embroidery room. All right, so we have the embroidery right here. I started off with this one, my first Entrepreneur Pro 1050X. As you see, I'm in the middle of doing something. We started getting too many orders. Hats, 50 pieces, 100 pieces. So I upgraded to the Tajima 6-6. Tajima, sponsor me, please. Send me a new machine. Send me like a 12 head or a better 6 head. You have your 6 head, and you have all the accessories that go along with it. All your hoops nicely stacked. You know, if you keep things nice and in place, you can always find them, and they will stay in good shape. You got all your hoops, all your hat hoops. You got your sprays, your airsoft sprays. You got your thread, all the good stuff.
What would you say out of screen printing, embroidery, and DTG? I mean, I kind of already have a guess, but like out of those three, which of the three do you need like more like accessories and just like you have to get the actual machines, but like for a screen, like, you know, screen printing, you have to get like, you know, like you showed it, it's like the washout booth, like how many, you have to get so many other things besides just like the press or just the machine, like you have to get the threads.
So
like
which one takes the most accessories?
Yeah, like which one, or like rank the three of like things you need, like, because I think people in general have this idea of like, oh, I just need to buy this one machine and that's
like,
it.
Nah.
Yeah, no.
Because even if you buy an embroidery machine, you got the embroidery machine, but you need bobbin, you need thread, you need a substrate that is going to go on, you need hoops, and then one hoop's not going to work for everything, so you're going to need multiple size hoops if you're doing small, big, circle, pocket, if you're doing hats. Then, not even only that, you're going to need something for the hoop to go on, so you're going to need a hoop master. So you're going to need a hoop master. Then you're going to need another hoop master for your smaller things. So it's endless when it comes to embroidery. And then there's 20 different size hoops. So, and then you got all your different frames. You got your cap driver. You got your big frame. You got all these different hoop sizes. You got your extra large hoop sizes. But then you got backing. Then you got the puff backing. Then you got different backing, tearaway, cutaway. It's a lot when it comes to embroidery, but I mean, even with screen print, you got the platens, you got different size platens. If you're doing youth, if you're doing sleeves, you got ink, you got squeegees, you got film to print out, you got screens, you got all of the things to clean the screen, from the ink degrader to the degreaser to the emulsion remover to the scrub brushes that you need for that. Which one takes the most? I don't know. That's neck and neck, actually. Yeah. That's neck and neck.
Remember that one day, too, when I asked you, I was like, how many machines do you think you have in
And I got the count, and I was like, wow, I have a lot more than I thought I did.
Like 24 machines.
Yeah, 24 machines, probably. Yeah, but embroidery takes a lot. Like, it takes a lot of little knickknacks to go along with embroidery just as much as screen print. So, I mean, don't kill your dreams.
DTG is, I guess, the least amount of, you just really need the ink, the machine.
And different platens as well.
Okay.
If you're doing kid size, if you're doing oversized, if you're doing a hat, if you're doing the shoe, if you're doing the sock. But it's the less strenuous when it comes to manual labor. You got a machine that kind of does, well, this machine kind of does things for you as well, but it's less error there's a smaller margin for error, or a bigger margin. I don't know if I'm saying that right. You have bigger room to make a mistake, I guess. Like
with DTG?
Yes.
Okay. Because
you can semi kind of fix it, versus once you make an error with a stitch thread. Like
It's done.
no.
You could, like,
you can undo the thread, but you'll be sitting there pulling threads out. Okay. But yeah, embroidery is.
What about all those screens over there? What do you just keep?
Yeah, this is our library.
Screens, or?
Yeah, this is called our library. I try to clear it out once every 3 to 4 months to see if a client is going to return. So once we finish an order, if they're going to be a return customer, this is called the library. This is where we library all the screens of customers who do return and get repeated orders. The ones who don't repeat, we usually just like the ones we do, we usually label them if they got multiple screens. And once they don't return for a while, they end up over there. And that's how I ended up with an 80 stack, because it was time to go through the library again and revoke library cards.
Burn the books.
Burn the books. And
that seems like mainly. Oh, there we got the Wall of Fame over there too.
Got the Wall of Fame and the ceiling of. I don't know what we call that. The Raptors, the shirts and the Raptors. Yeah, but this is only a quarter of what I've actually done. This is just what I happen to document and save. Am I forgetting anything? What else do we do in here?
You got all the blank shirts and stuff right there.
Yeah, these are all orders here. I need to get to work. Other than that, man, this is a creative space for cool people like us to come and make stuff happen. But we're also serious. We handle big accounts and big clients. We want more clients and more big accounts, more corporate. But also, as you see how cool this place looks, this is for people to come and get inspired and be as creative as they can be. Take those ideas and turn them into what? Reality.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga, Tennessee, Humanities. You gotta love yourself. All I need is one box, one sock.
All right. We're still here at Humanities. This is the podcast part of the... It's fine, bro. This is the podcast portion of the Humanities 50-50-50 tour promo video. I don't even really know what to call it. I'm here in the video now. Zachriddleart. Got my man Mook over here.
Yep. And we got Silo.
And Silo, yeah.
And Silo, the dog.
Silo, introduce yourself. Okay. No words. All right, so I'm gonna just start hitting you with some questions, and you can just.
Do I get 3 lifelines?
Only 2 friends you can.
I can phone a friend. Okay, cool.
If you have any.
All right. Solo.
All right, so give me a general. Like, you don't have to delve in too many into all the details, but like, how did this whole place start? How did Humanities begin?
I came up with the name Humanities. It was going to be a joint thing between me and my homie Josh. I don't know if the camera can zoom in, but he's on that picture back there behind the embroidery machine. He had this shop, and I was renting out a little space, kind of semi where that embroidery machine is.
This exact building?
This exact building, and I had a little table. I think I had 2019. Okay. 2000, no.
I feel like it was earlier than
2018.
Yeah, okay. Almost around 5 years now.
Yeah, damn.
5 years ago.
5 years ago. 2018, I was renting out a little space over there, and I had a table, and I bought my first DTG printer, actually. But it only printed on white shirts.
Why did you buy it?
Because I had already had a brand. I had Trippy Hippie brand that I started in 2014.
Okay, so the first time you got into clothes, you did it for your own personal brand. It wasn't initially to have a print.
It wasn't to serve.
Okay.
It wasn't to serve anybody else or to recreate.
So you bought the DTG machine solely for your brand?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
do you remember
I started
what
doing
machine
the
it was?
Yes, it was a Ricoh Anajet RI 100 or 1000. It's either 100 or 1000. It's like an $8,000 machine. I wanted the bigger one, but I didn't have the funds. Somebody kind of let me down when I was supposed to go get it. Somebody was supposed to split it with me, but it didn't happen. So I just had to leave with something because I had left them with my money. So I ended up going for that one. And it did 8x11. That was the biggest print size that it did, which is like a standard sheet of paper. Mm-hmm. 8.5x11, but it only did white shirts and light garments because it didn't have white ink in the DTG printer. So it only had CMYK and no white.
Which I've now learned that white ink for DTGs is the most expensive.
It's the most expensive.
And is used the most.
And is used the most when you're doing dark garments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got your own corner.
Had my own corner. I was also working on the road, so I was like working my way off from like being a working man. But my job was like pretty chill. But I was gone for like 3-4 weeks at a time. So whenever I came home for like a couple of days before I went to go do another job, I would be here. And I was just talking to Josh. I was like, man, I'm gonna learn how to screen print because he used to run the shop screen print, and we had plans to teach me how to screen print. And January the 8th, 2019. The 7th actually was the last day we kicked it in here, built some tables, came up with the plan, how we was going to run the business and take off and shit. January the 8th, this fucker decided, trigger warning, to kill himself. So after that, I worked for another 30 days and I watched YouTube. I watched actually Lee Stewart. Shout out to Lee Stewart. He was starting screen printing from scratch, knew nothing about it. 30 days, followed his journey and watched screen print videos while I was working on the road. Came home, quit my job, took over the shop. Probably pretty much locked myself in here for like a week. I locked myself in here for a week. I painted all of these walls by myself black. Like I got on a ladder, painted everything. Stayed in here by myself, slept. I pretty much slept, smelled, lived screen print like for like a week straight. And got my first order. My first order was 200 hoodies. I'm pretty sure if I was to see those hoodies a day, I would take them back and do them all over again because they're probably the most horrible hoodies that I've probably ever printed in my life. But need to say, that was my running start on it, actually. Like, I did 200 hoodies, and I never looked back from that. I just kept growing. I was forced to learn a lot of stuff. Because I was illiterate when it came to Photoshop, Illustrator, any of that. But, like, in order to run a screen print shop and get graphic design, I was forced to teach myself as I went. So I was just in front of a computer, clicking around until I figured stuff out. And, yeah.
How did you, like, what made you decide that, like, you really wanted to, I mean, obviously, like, hearing about, you know, your friend, do you think without that happening, you would have gotten more into the production side of, like, making stuff for people? Or do you think you would have stayed more in
strictly for my brand?
Yeah.
No, I would have definitely did production for everybody. Okay. That's what I was already gearing up. That's why I wanted to learn screen print so I could help out around the shop.
Okay.
But at that time, like, the equipment was minimal. Like, it was probably a 4 press in here, a 4 color, 4 station, and that blue dryer. Like, it was very minimal, but I was like, I want to help out as much as I can, you know. So I would have eventually got on that same path anyway. So, like, him passing was like 80% of contributing me to be like, I'm gonna take over the shop. The other 20 was like, I want to learn how to make my own stuff instead of.
It was already there. It was already like sped up the process.
Yes, because it was already like before I met Josh, I was getting my stuff done by somebody else, but it's like I wasn't hands on. Pretty sure people have experienced like when y'all send off stuff to a print shop, you send it off and you wait for it to get shipped back, and you don't get to be hands on. You don't get to see it until it's done. And I was like, yeah, I'm tired of that process. I want to be actually hands on with my own stuff. But so I put my brand on hold actually for like 3-4 years.
I was about to say, like, since then, what do you think has been your percentage of time spent within here, like either like helping build Trippy Hippie, which is one of the, I feel like you have like multiple brands.
I have 2 brands.
Okay.
Yeah, Trippy SB, which is the skate brand, and then Trippy Hippie.
How much time percentage
spent on that?
Compare, like, pie chart it. Like, what is the
3%?
3% on both brands.
3% on both brands.
Wow.
Over the past
97
4 years.
on
that wall.
Yeah.
And building a business.
Yeah.
3 years. You know, I'm in that 3-year mark where you're like.
Yeah, I'm right on the 3-year mark
like,
too.
This is like to make it. Well, they say like 5, but like 3 year. Like I made it through 3 years. Like shout out to me. Shout out to everybody that supported. Like
shout out.
So yeah, most of the time was spent, in here every fucking day trying to keep this place alive and building brands and learning the do's and the don'ts and everything. So that's why like I didn't put my brand to rest, but it was just on pause. So that way when I do release it again, coming soon, very, very soon, I know exactly
what you like
how to release a brand.
Yeah. Because you've helped so many other people.
I've helped so many brands that come with one shirt, one idea, 24, 50 shirts, and you never see them again.
Mine is one, I guess not one shirt, but it's, you know.
But it's not a brand.
Yeah,
you know what
it's
I'm
not
saying?
a
It's
brand,
not like I'm about to make a website and do these drops. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody wants to do, but it's a lot. It takes a lot more than that.
It's just
people are scared to bet on themselves. People come in here and they come with these. They got brand. They got ideas. They got designs that are not. When I say not good, not like they're not cool, but like quality of the designs are shitty. And they're scared to bet on themselves. They're like, oh, I'm gonna just start out with 24 shirts. And that's what drives them right into the ground, like being scared to bet. Like, you think you know more than 24 people. You think you only can sell 24 shirts?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, my brand, I've still been building it over the years. I have about 70, 80 designs ready to go. I got collections ready to go. It's just, when I release it, it's not going to stop. It's not going to be, oh, I came up with 2 designs and then I ran them into the ground and you never hear from me again. Like, when Trippy Hippie comes back, it will never leave.
And you're wanting to like release it in a certain way. It's not just about which it like kind of goes into like, you know, what I'm trying to pull off. But it's not just about what's on the shirt or how the shirt is made or what type of shirt it is, but it's how you're showing the world the shirt.
Yes.
Right? It's like how you're doing
and
it.
it's an extension of me. So me releasing merch is the extension of my world because I'm always here. So, like, I get to show my creativeness and my brain through garments. So, I'm not just dropping designs. My designs are, like, telling a story. Like, you can feel the designs. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's going to be a collection. That way, like, you feel like what this collection about. It's not just like, hey, man, I drew this cool design. Let's throw it on the shirt. It's, like, it's more meaningful. It's not about me selling a shirt. It's more about the community of Trippy Hippie and the Trippy Hippie community, what I'm doing it for, the things that we're connected to, you know, is deeper than just a garment. But it just adds the added bonus to know that, like, I made it. It was every step of the way from picking the garment to printing it to tagging it to sewing it. It was all me, which is big to me because most of the time people are outsourcing everything that they do, or now they're moving to overseas manufacturers who they just pay a good price and they do everything for them, versus now when you touch a piece of my garment, you're stepping into my world, like of not just my brand but everything that I do for everybody else.
You said you're the one who came up with the Humanities name. Tell me how you came up with that name and Trippy Hippie and Trippy SB. Because
I really can't even tell you how I came up with Humanities.
Okay.
Like, I got one of those brains that, like, I should be in, like, marketing rooms. Like, 'cause I, like, for real, like, my brain comes up with jingles. It comes up with, like, cool phrases. And most of my stuff came from when I worked on the road. When you're riding on the road and you just get that serene, that scene, and it's just, like, you got your music going, it's just you and the road, your brain's clearing out, and it's, like, the craziest thoughts come to my head. That's how Trippy became about. Riding around one day, and it just came. Like, I was already living a lifestyle. It was like this was during
you were the Trippy Hippie.
Yeah, it was during the Taylor Gang era. It was during, like, you know what I'm saying, like the Taylor Gang era, but like the Wiz had the name Taylor Gang. But before that, I was already doing the Taylor lifestyle. Okay. So I was like, I can't call myself Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Trippy became about, actually. It just popped in my head, and then like a year later, I was riding. And I realized that Trippy Hippie Company made out the acronym THC. It wasn't until a year after I dropped my brand that I realized that, damn, the initials of my brand is THC. Like, because at the beginning, the first 2 years, it was all about pushing it was pro, you know, it was pro marijuana. It was pro 420 friendly and stuff, but I've kind of
you can kind of hit people I hope would be able to.
But I don't want that anymore.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want that anymore. Okay. I don't want my brand to be
solely
based around, we're always pro 420, but like I have a bigger purpose now. I was young at that time. I'm adult, 2 kids. Like, I got a bigger purpose. Now Trippy is about community.
But that also goes to show that as like a brand owner, you're not, afraid of change or evolution of the brand.
Reinventing myself, no. Because we're still that at the core, but that's not the forefront of the brand anymore. The forefront of the brand is like a safe space, a community where all people are welcome. Let's talk about the things in our age group, suicide awareness, you know what I'm saying, mental health, stress, depression, like real life stuff that people are dealing with. Because everybody in the world smokes weed now, bro. It's getting legal everywhere. Yeah. Nobody cares that, okay, you got a weed brand and everybody talking about weed and you can rip a bong. Like, everybody's doing that.
Yeah.
But like, who can live and show that like even through depression, I've excelled. I made it through that dark space, and let me tell you a story, and let me speak love into you and put love back into the world to give you a little hope, to let you know that you matter and that you're important. Like, this is what it's really about. Like, to, you know what I'm saying, inspire, encourage people, to let them know, like, you see me, I'm a real human, like, behind this camera. Like, I go through shit. It may look good. I might have a brand, but, like, I'm human. I go through the same things that other humans go through, if not even more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you own a brand, it's hard. Like, you're going to have it's not as easy as being like, oh, I can wake up and go work 40 hours and know how much I get paid.
Yeah.
I have to wake up and create my revenue every day. If I don't come in here and print shirts, I make no money.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, I always touch on, this with people where it's like, there's always an opposite to things, to where it's like, you can't have good things. Like, you wouldn't have the feeling of something like good happening to you. Like, you can't have that feeling without having experienced something that's bad, right? Because without the opposite, there's nothing to like judge it off of. Because if everything was good, it wouldn't feel the same as if if you've experienced things that are bad. So yeah, that definitely makes sense. And
that's the opposite. That's always play into when I tell homies that's going through a bad time, like, stepping outside of that is when you can get a better perspective on it. Because when you're going through a depressive state, you're inside of that depressive state.
You're still at the bottom, but it's like
you're inside of it, so you don't see the outside. But once you take a time and think about when you've been depressed and you come out of it and been happy, you're now outside of that depression, able to look back at that experience and be like, wow, it either wasn't as bad as I thought it was, or I learned this from this. But you was only able to do that once you got outside of that state that you was in. Mm-hmm. So
no, that definitely.
So that's what I'm trying to push people outside of the states that they're in. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you're going through whatever the case may be, like, it's okay. You're human. You're going to go through it, but like, there's the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you come out of that side, you're going to be able to be triumphant and look back at that and be like, damn, I made it through that. I learned this from that. I know how to recognize when I am in that space again, and how to get myself self-aware and get myself out of that and help somebody else get out of that.
Because it's hard to like tell sometimes. You can just kind of
we're all going through shit, and you never know what somebody's going through.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even realize that you're going. It's like it just you just wake up one day maybe. But tell me about Trippy SB, and then tell me about other like creative things that like I know that like Polaroids and have you done like 35 millimeter film, or is it just?
I've done film before.
Okay,
I've done.
So like, tell me about just like obviously. SB stands for skateboarding, but like skateboarding, Polaroids, like what are the other like things
creative
outside
areas that I do?
Doesn't even have to be creative.
Just
bowling,
I do. Yeah, bowling.
Right? Like
Trippy SB is a skate brand. It is a skate brand. I got 2 signed skaters. I skated in high school, got a little older, got past I regained that like fear factor of like, damn, bro, like I'm scared I might break my leg and not get hurt.
Your neck.
Yeah, my neck. So I was like, I don't skate as much anymore. You know what I'm saying? I push around, but I'm like, I love the skate community. So it was an extension of Trippy.
Still wanted to be in
Trippy Hippie was like, it's not, that's why I got away from the 420, because it's not just about weed, it's about me. And me, I'm a Pisces. I'm like everything. Like I'm a chameleon to everything. So I was just like coming into my world. I'm like, I'm giving you little pieces and branches of me in every little field with humanities. Like this is my hands-on creative stuff. Like Trippy SB, here's my skate side. You know what I'm saying? With Polaroids, here's how I view the world. Bowling, here's how I'm competitive in this space. I'm a drummer. I do DJ sets at home. Like I love music. Music is like number one thing in my life. Without music, like none of this would be possible.
Yeah. Have you used that stem player yet, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah? You've been messing with it?
Yes.
It's working?
Yes.
That's good.
I just need to add some more music to it.
Yeah. Just get some different songs on there.
But I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it to actually help build more of my DJ sets. So instead of me just dropping music that's already made, I can make my own now.
And
now
you can do
make
it live.
my own. Yeah, now I can make my own vocals and put it behind the own instrumental track that I want to. So now I can pair up my own mixes and then drop them like that.
Interesting. So how did you get into Polaroids specifically? I want to know about that. Who got you into that? You just saw like instant prints, like because I've just very recently, like within the past like I don't know 2-3 months, got into it. It seems like you've been.
I was doing it for years.
Yeah.
I don't know what got me into it. I want to say maybe I was semi-inspired because me and a homie, Elijah, Elijah bruh, he was working here for a while, and he was a photographer.
Okay, work.
So just being around that, but also being a screen printer, I'm always visually seeing something, whether it's putting it on a shirt, on a piece of paper. So
and you need different avenues to like get out like visual creative.
So I don't get burnt out. So because I'm getting burnt out of like I'm tired of putting an image on a shirt.
Yeah.
And it's not my image that I came up with. Like I want to put my own
images.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's
so that wall became a thing when it was just like the homies coming through. Like, okay, this is people who come through, get a good experience at Humanities, snap it up. I need to start that back and fill that wall back up. Actually, it'd be cool if I can fill up like this whole wall. That would be dope. Of like that'd be a lot of people that I would meet though. Yeah, it'd be expensive, but that'd be a lot of people. Like if I fill that entire wall of Polaroids of every time somebody came through.
100%. It would be incredible to look at too, because it would just be almost like a. I mean, people do that as like literally like an art. Like
most people do that at restaurants. You know what I'm saying? That's mostly like a restaurant thing.
That and like the dollar bill thing is like people will like put a $1 bill up and sign it or something like that.
But I don't think I would be able to do that because I don't plan on meeting that many people here at the shop. I'm moving more away and being more exclusive. I feel like for my first 3 years, I gave a lot of myself at a free cost, at a low cost. Yeah. And now it's time to.
So you value yourself and your time more now than you used to.
In order to, I realize outside of the creative and the fun and all of that, I have to run a business. Yeah. This has to thrive. It has to make money. It has to pay bills. So like all of the homie discounts, it has to stop if I want to have a successful business. So it's like nothing bad. It's just that's the way of the world. Like if I was to keep being this super homie nice, I would never make any money. I would just keep breaking even, and this would just be a place where everybody comes to kick it at. But like that's what, I did that for 2-3 years. We used to have community movie nights here. Like once a month we would put up a projector outside, free movies, popcorn and stuff like that. Like we had a lot of events here, and I've had my days. I've given myself to the community. Now it's time to get back exclusive, shutter myself away, and lock in on the business and help bring other people stuff. Yes, to pour back into me. Yes, I poured into my community. I need the community to pour back into me.
That's dope. I love that. I didn't even know that there was events, because I guess I could mention this too, like how we met each other. I mean, it was really kind of through JK, but shout out JK. I don't know if he's in here right now, but Kind Hearts community, JK Willis, but we kind of knew each other through Instagram.
Yeah,
like
we had
never met in person, but we were always just like I had seen like your stuff and I was following you and like liking or whatever, and same with me, And so
and then the alignment happened.
And then the timing, bro.
And then when we met, it was like we already had met before. So it was just like, okay.
Kind of weird, bro. I feel like there's so many people I've met like that where it was like there was no like
like that building stage, like, I gotta kind of get to know you to feel you out. It was just like,
it was like we were just already on some like, I think I guess creatives, kind of and entrepreneurs just can kind of feel people out like similar to them like pretty quickly.
Yeah, and then when those good energies clash, it just adds on to each other. And you're like, bro, I need more people like you around. Yeah, because I don't get to be around a lot of people like. That's what I tell people. People will be like, man, hang around more people like you. It sounds good, but it's hard because those same people that are like you are always just as busy as you and doing their own thing. So it's like that.
Yeah, because we're both in like, I mean, in similar like creative kind of like industries or whatever. But like, my thing for the past 3 years has mainly been like spray paint, right? And then like, I'm just now getting into this apparel side of like, my art career or whatever. Whereas, you've been in this apparel industry for like 5 years now, which is, kind of crazy.
Longer than that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you had started
almost
Trippy
at 10.
Hippie before.
I'm at 9 years, yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
I've been in apparel for 9 years.
Yeah. Whereas I just got my first T-shirt printed like a month ago, basically. But for the people who've never printed a T-shirt or never put in, gotten a T-shirt made for their brand or anything, what are the couple things? We'll start kind of, wrapping this up. I want to just finish with a couple of these questions. Creative apparel industry, screen printing, in this kind of niche. But the people who have kind of know nothing about it, but know that they want to like maybe start something, or just like they want to get their feet wet and they don't know where to start.
Figure out what you want to do first. Know if you want this to be like a one shirt drop or if you're trying to create a whole apparel line. That's what's going to determine who you need to go to next. Whether you need to go to an in-house screen printer, a mom and pop screen printer, a full production screen printer, or if you need to jump straight into manufacturing. But if you're going to go with screen printing, and let's say for instance you was a customer, you was coming to me, the things that I will require you to have to make the process easier and cleaner and as crispy as we can.
Tap in right here. Listen up.
Please have artwork ready.
What type of
artwork ready means is not that you went on Fonto or Canva and you made the image because it looks good on your phone.
Freefonts.com.
Because it's going to look good on your phone. But when you send it over to a computer to get it ready for a screen, it is not going to be ready. So at least a 300 DPI image. That is dots per inch image. If you don't have your artwork ready, find a homie or find somebody who does graphic design, send it to them, let them vector your artwork. Vector artwork means cleaner lines. Cleaner lines means cleaner prints. Cleaner prints means better quality merch, which means you can now have a higher sale point. If you got a shitty image, you will get a shitty print and you will have shitty merch. So if you don't want that, get clean graphics before you go to your local screen printer or anybody. Make sure your artwork is on point, and it doesn't take a lot. It's less than $100 to get your artwork ready. Second step is figuring out, do you know anything about blanks? If you don't know about blanks, ask somebody, do some research. You got YouTube. The more less things that you have to boggle your screen printer or embroiderer down with back and forth questions, the faster your turnaround service will be for you to get your merch back.
And the more they'll like you.
Yeah, and the more they'll like you.
Yeah.
They'll be glad to do your order. They'll be glad. But if you come with bad artwork and that takes your screen printer a week to do your artwork while he has multiple other orders, you're going to be mad, think this guy doesn't care about you, but it's that he does not have time to stop and spend 4 days to clean up your artwork, especially, and you're only going to be doing 12, 24 shirts. So if you can have your artwork ready, he'll be more enticed to do those 12 shirts. If you know what kind of shirts you want, it'll help him to faster order your shirts. If you don't, that's another 2-3 days of him going through 1,000 different blank manufacturers for you to figure out what type of blank do you want. So the best thing to do is do all of that research before you come. Screen printing and the production shop should be your last stop after you've done everything that you need to do, such as your artwork, figuring out your blanks, figuring out your colorways, how you want this to go, where you want it to go. Then go holler at your screen printer. He'll be more than happy to help you, especially if you come with those things. He'll probably push you to the front of the line. So if you're not getting your merch back within 2-3 days, it's probably because something on your end. I guarantee you, if you come with clean art, if you come with your merch, if you come with your own blanks, even better, but that's not always a good thing to do.
Come correct or don't come
correct.
at all.
If you're going to come with your own merch, send extras. Things happen. We're dealing with ink here. You can get splatters. You can get misprints. So we need to be able to replace that. So if you're going to get blanks that your local screen printer doesn't carry, always send extras. Please.
That was perfect. If people don't listen to that.
And that's just the screen print side.
Yeah, I know. There's not even embroidery
it's
or
not
the
even
DTG,
embroidery, DTG.
or whatever. Yeah.
Artwork is the number.
Artwork's
Step
the number one
is artwork.
Yeah.
You can't go if you have bad artwork, don't go beyond that.
Yeah.
Stop right there.
Figure it out.
Get your artwork together. Because that's what determines everything. That determines the next steps of everything else.
Yeah. No, that's huge. That's something that I know a lot of screen printers and graphic designers and anyone who knows about designing digital art probably has dealt with, like
Yes.
the vectorizing
Yes.
and all that.
And some
then
people make
digitizing
mistakes. Some people make mistakes because they think that when they make something on their phone, it's going to translate like that. But you have to realize your phone is making it look like that. But when it translates to a big screen computer, those pixels do not be as clear as it looked on that app that you made it on. That app is designed to make it look like that. But when you send it to a Photoshop or Illustrator app, it no longer looks like that. And when you're making it on your phone, that image is this small. Even though you can stretch it on your phone, it's this small.
You got to think about how big it's going to look on a
because when you
t-shirt.
send it to me and it's a 3-inch image and I have to stretch it to 12 inches.
And it's pixelated.
It's pixelated and blurry.
Yeah. So do your research and
research.
be prepared.
Or just ask your screen printer questions.
Yeah, and
Call
then they
ask them
can
questions,
basically say the
say
same thing.
Ask them what they like
and
for what type of files. What would you like for me to have before I even come?
A lot of them too. If
ready.
you look at their website or whatever, they'll have like, hey, like don't even email us like.
And we're not trying to be assholes. Like for real, it helps us to help you.
Yeah. But it's a business.
Help you. It's a business. Help us help you.
Yeah. No, that makes it.
And this is our art. This is our skills. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if you want us to excel at, if people want you to excel at your,
in my craft, then help me.
Yes.
It's like if you're a mechanic, you're not going to do a good job with bad tools.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't bring a car that has 4 flats and expect me to fix your battery.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just come with the right stuff, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense, but like, it didn't make any sense, but it sounded cool. It'll sound cool like 30 years when we're like 60, 70 years old. It's going to be one of those things like, don't go to a mechanic with 4 flats and expect to get your battery fixed.
Heck, that might happen to me.
On this tour?
Yeah.
Like, bro, I got 4 flats, but I need my battery fixed.
Can you do that? No, but I do want to finish out here quickly, but what is things that you can do, people who are in the screen printing industry or creatives, like what are things you try and do? Obviously you said skateboarding and bowling. You said music was a huge thing. Like what are things you try and do on a consistent like daily, weekly basis to make sure that routine, like to make sure that you're able to run the business well?
Well, I mean, I switched up now, and health, mental health, you know what I'm saying? Focus on my mental health, my physical health. I have days where I feel like shit and I don't want to come in here. I allow myself to have one day. I'm human. I allow myself to have one day and sit in it and be like, okay, I'm not feeling it. Maybe I want to give up. But after that, I get up and pick myself back up and remember what I did it for. I remember Josh, you know what I'm saying? Just think about my homie. Like, I'm doing this for him as well. I'm also doing it for myself, but like, I'm carrying on the legacy that he left me behind, that I was blessed to be able to start a screen print shop with some equipment being able to be passed down to me. But other than that, music, my kids, I got 2 boys, that's my motivation. I'm my motivation. Seeing other creatives and knowing the impact that I make on their life when they come in here with an idea and they leave with something physical and tangible that they thought would never be able to be done. That's my driving force, to be able to know that I play a part in
reaction that they
have.
The
reaction, and just knowing that I played a part into like helping somebody manifest something that was an idea. Because some people come in here some people have ideas that's been lingering in their head for 4 or 5 years in designs, and when they see it put on a shirt in real time,
when you see that like go through their like mind basically,
and feel it and hold it up. And a thing that like I've slowly stopped doing, but I do that a lot of other screen print shops don't do, is allow the customer to come here. Print shops don't allow you to come and see the production side of stuff, see your stuff being done, let you hold a squeegee and print a shirt. Like me giving people that experience, it plants the seed in them to go out and continue it to somebody else. No,
I love that. Real quick, favorite thing about the screen printing or just like apparel industry, and then least favorite?
My most favorite thing? The process. Just getting lost in a process of like from nothing to something. Like from that idea. From idea like to a talk or a sketch to full on production and clothing line and seeing somebody thrive. The best thing.
Least favorite?
Taxes and the whole
I'm gonna have to agree on that.
The whole business side of thing, bro.
I'm gonna have to agree on
that. Paperwork and all of that, bro.
You spent 0
taxes.
That was a quick answer.
The whole business side of things.
I feel that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that get into business or
entrepreneurship.
It's you when you're getting into it, you're only thinking about the positive outcomes, the things that you enjoy,
the rewards of everything. Like, I get to work for myself and wake up on my own time, but like
there's negatives to that. It's just like
it's not negatives, it's just disciplines.
Well, it's the opposite thing, I think, because it's like you can't have positive, like you can't have good thing, like. You can't enjoy something like one process. You can't enjoy the whole process. Like, you just can't. It just doesn't happen. There's going to be parts of that process where you're like, yeah, I like this part better than this part, basically. Like,
So that's why as you grow as a business, the best thing to do is to not be afraid to delegate certain tasks to other people or outsource things to save yourself time. So if you know you don't like taxes, spend that extra money to get you a CPA. Spend that extra money to get some. Like I don't like doing graphics anymore. I used to, when I first started, I told you I was forced to. Now that I don't have the time to do graphics because I'm always on the floor, I don't mind spending my extra money to bring on somebody to strictly do graphics. Not even in-house, but like if I outsource it, like that saves me that 2-3 days of staring at a computer screen where I could continue orders and wait on the homie to send
from
it
the
back.
Time and like the mental fatigue of like sitting, like, because it's not just the time, it's like it's the time mentally that you're able to like just focus on anything. There's a limited amount of time in the day. Obviously, like everyone has the same amount of time, but then there's a limited amount of time you can mentally put your focus into like certain things, whereas at a certain point you got to tap out.
Yeah, and it's the thing that we treat every shirt and brand as if it's our own, but customers think that they're the only order that sits in screen print shops.
That's a good.
They think that they're the only order that I have. So if I'm spending 3 days,
they want you to treat,
they wanted you to treat like
you
they're
are
the number
only,
one order, and I'm like, I feel you. But if I have to spend 3 days going back and forth about graphics, I just neglected 20 other orders that was here.
That's interesting.
It's very interesting because they're on the outside. They're the receiver. They're paying for what they want. So they think that they're the only person that's doing that. But you may have 100 orders, but each one of those orders are going to feel like they're number one on your list and they're the most important order.
Well, hopefully the people that are seeing this recognize that haven't really, thought about it that way maybe, and that they could kind of have a different perspective.
Give us a little bit more grace,
Yeah, because it's not just, one order.
Because it's going to trickle back down. If you got a brand, one of your customers is going to do the same thing. They're going to want their return. They're going to ask you, why does it take you so long to ship out the order? And you're going to feel it. And you're going to realize, like, damn, like this guy thinks he's the only person who ordered a shirt. And here I am with a buggy at USPS with 50 other orders I got to send out. But I got this one guy who keeps hitting me up thinking he's the only person who hasn't got his shirt.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely interesting because, people just don't think of it in that way. Because they're only thinking of it from the brand perspective, unless they've, worked at a shop, I guess, maybe before, in some type of like service, order industry like that, where it's like, multiple
things of
orders coming in for one type of like service or whatever. So,
but even if they have, they'll block that out when it's something that's theirs.
A different niche, different industry.
Yeah, when they feel like it's something that's theirs and like I spent my money on it, they're going to want it the way that they want it when they want it, even if they've experienced that themselves.
Yeah, that's definitely a perspective. Hopefully, people can take from the video. Thank you. Obviously,
need any orders? Yes.
Do what?
I said if they need any orders, screen print, embroidery, DTG,
tap in.
Maybe we can put a little.
I'll put
website,
a little graphic.
Yeah, a little graphic, little website.
Oh yeah, the website will be in here somewhere. The whole time.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so it'll be up there.
It'll be
somewhere.
up on the top the whole time. Yeah.
Just hit us up, send us an order inquiry, and we will get back with you.
And this is not just people in Chattanooga, right?
This is worldwide. Yeah, this is not even just startup
worldwide.
brands. This is Humanities worldwide. Actually,
what's
the website? Humanities.world is actually the website.
Yeah, but what's the Step Brothers?
Prestige worldwide.
Prestige worldwide.
Wide.
Yeah.
First word.
Worldwide.
Wide. Yeah, but hit us up.
Yeah, shout out to you, bro. I appreciate, I
appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, the relationship we've been able to build, and we got the pop-up. I don't know when I'm going to release this video, but it is Saturday.
This is the first stop.
Yeah, this is the first stop.
This is the first stop on the tour.
50 tour. 50
the first
t-shirts,
stop.
All 50 states, $50
I'm the first face you're going to see.
Yeah, and you might be the most used screen print shop.
And I didn't even mean to put this in your face, but I forgot to let y'all know something.
Let them know.
This is a black-owned business.
And it's Black History Month.
And it's my birthday month.
So if you don't tap in with Humanities right here, something's wrong with you.
Something wrong with you.
Yeah. And this could be for DTG, embroidery, right?
embroidery, everything. Like, we're taking over the industry.
You don't have to have
Yeah, you don't have to have a big order. Just hit us up in the order and we'll talk to you. But,
come correct.
We're taking over the industry because most screen print shops are 30, 40 years in the game. Oh, they don't
antiquated.
They don't speak the language that we speak. So here's a fresh face.
Most of these, people that are trying to build these brands are younger.
Yeah, they're younger, and they have to send their stuff off to California to a screen print shop that they have no idea about, and just hope that when they get their box back, it's the right thing in the way that they want it. Here's a fresh face, same age as you. I know what y'all like. Tap in. This is not a in your backyard. This is not an in the house screen. This is a full production screen print embroidery warehouse. I got you. Tap in with your boys over here at Humanities.
Tap in. Appreciate it, bro.
And leave him on this note.
And we're gonna end it here. And
love yourself a little more today.
Mook at the bowling
He's
alley.
not, but don't forget to love yourself a little more today. You deserve it.
Just what he said. Perfect. 50-50-50 tour.
50-50-50.